Okay, hi guys, thank you for tuning in and watching. So I am Emma from The Works and I'm here today with Mima Cornish from HedgeRose Healing, and we're talking about all about meditation. So the reason that I really wanted to get into this, like, I am by no means a meditation expert. I realize and have experienced benefits of meditation for me personally, to feel more calm, more in control, less stress. So this is really something that we incorporate into all of our retreats, because it allows people to just take a step away to get some space and really allow the brain capacity to be able to go on and create even more within our lives. So I get the struggles myself, is that I don't have time to meditate. I have this, and this to do, and so many things in an already full life. How am I possibly supposed to create the time to meditate? And this is what I hear from a lot of the guys that I work with on the coaching. So the reason that I wanted to speak to someone who is better placed to be able to give us some techniques, some tools to really introduce meditation into your life in a way that is usable and is going to help you kind of in our real world. Because I think a lot of people as well get into the misconception that it's just some new age stuff that only, you know, hippie people do, not to be disrespectful to anybody at all, but we get now and we see, you know, a lot of high performance, whether it's CEOs, business people, entrepreneurs, artists, singers, athletes. They are all using meditation and talk about the great powers of meditation, that it can really benefit people on so many different levels. So welcome to the call, and thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us. And first off, though, I would really love to hear more about you, how you got into meditation and your journey and some of your experience around that. So welcome, Mima.
Hi, Emma. Thank you for inviting me here. I really appreciate it. I've been meditating for about 10 years now. After a few years of meditating, I decided that I'd really like to qualify as a teacher, a meditation teacher, that is, to help people find ways to bring meditation into their lives. And it's like you said, you know, people say they're too busy or they can't do it. And these things just aren't true. They're just not true. There's always a way that you can meditate. And so that's something that I really feel quite passionate about, that people can have meditation in their lives, whoever they are, whatever their lifestyle, it can be part of it for them.
Perfect. And it's like anybody who, with anything, whether it's exercise, whether it's working on the mindset, it comes from a matter of placing priority on it. But we can see that, you know, from people who may be a bit skeptical or just really don't know where to start, if you were to you know, talk to someone who is this busy mom who's, you know, like, how do I do this? My kids are hanging off my leg all day long, and trying to run a business, and I feel up to my eyeballs in my levels of stress. What would be your kind of first step for someone to get that base introduction? Where does someone like that start?
The best place to start is with your breath. The meditation tool that you always have with you, that is eternal, is your breath. You've always got it. People will sell you stools and cushions and blankets and mats and all these different things. But the most important thing for meditation is your breath. So it might be that you manage to sit down for 2 minutes while the kids have got distracted with Play-Doh or something, and you watch your breath for those 2 minutes. You will feel the benefit, you really will. And that can then expand. You know, I think a lot of people, we live in a very goal-orientated society as well. It's all like, well, I must sit down for an hour. No, don't. If that's too difficult and it means you won't do any meditation, don't try and sit down. Don't say it's like all or nothing. 2 minutes watching your breath while watching the children would be a benefit. It would be a start, and all those things, because if you start with something like that, it gradually becomes more natural, and each time it becomes more natural, you're making a benefit for yourself. You'll feel more relaxed, your mind will feel quieter, it will never be empty, because that doesn't happen, but it will feel quieter and calmer, and then you can carry on. And maybe as the kids get older, we're just using this as an example, I get that, but it's a very easy one. Maybe you'll get 5 minutes, or you might get 2 minutes 3 times a day, you know, or it could be 30 seconds. It could literally be 3 breaths that you manage to stop for. You will feel the benefit of that.
Yeah.
And really, and I completely agree with you, that thing about exercise. You know, I couldn't run a marathon tomorrow. You know, it's like, no one would expect me to. No one would expect me to get up and run a marathon with no training or no experience or no, you know, gradual fitness increase, you know, practice. And it's exactly the same. Exactly the same
way to think about it, because people, you know, you see like Buddhas or whatever it is, you know, meditating for hours on end in complete silence, and you think, oh God, I'm never going to be able to do that. But it's exactly the same. You've got to start with where you're at, and you've got to build it up little by little. Yeah. I love that analogy. That really would help people get some clarity. Now, when you say watch the breath, can you just elaborate on that? Like, how does somebody watch the breath?
A relaxing breath is a breath that moves down into your tummy. So when we're stressed, we breathe in a really shallow way. We breathe into our chest, and that increases anxiety. It's really not good for you at all. So what you need to do, and it might be that that's how you know, if you've got a really, really stressful life, that's how you breathe most of the time. And if that is the case, you will feel the benefit even more of breathing all the way down into your tummy, all the way down and back up again. And you do watch it from within, or sense it or feel it, whichever word is best for you, all the way in, all the way down to your belly and back out again. And, you know, if you're doing it for longer, people's minds wander, you know, and again, that's fine. You just gradually, you gently but firmly bring it back to focusing on your breath. And that in itself, being aware that your mind has wandered and bringing it back to focusing on the movement of your breath in and out of your body, is meditation.
Yeah, and I love that, because that is again something that some people say, oh, I can't make my mind go blank, there's thoughts coming in all of the time. And I know one of a meditation teacher I had once, and she said part of the meditation is to kind of acknowledge that thought, but instead of, like, if you're imagining like a ball and catching it, instead of just holding on to that thought, you just drop it and let it go. Yeah. And come back to the breathing. So yeah, absolutely. I think
put it in a box, put it away. Naming it is another good thing, actually. If there's, sometimes it can be a noise that's annoying you, I don't know, up the road there's a pneumatic drill. If it's just got to remove the attachment to that sound or that thought or that worry, you can name it and compartmentalize it, and that will put it down for you.
That's nice. I like
so
that.
You can sort of drill.
Yeah,
and it goes.
Again, it comes from a place of judgment, that we are so harsh on ourselves, particularly as women. It's like, I'm not doing this right, I can't make my mind go blank, and that's kind of, I always help to tell people, it's just go with, you know, what it is, whatever comes up for you, let it go, do for as long as you can, and just to keep practicing and keep going with it. So I just wanted to ask, do you have any? Go on. No, go on. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, if you sit down for five minutes and you manage to bring your attention back to your breath twice in that 5 minutes, and the rest of the time your brain's just yelling at you, you're still going to feel a benefit, and it's still going to be better for you than not sitting down for that 5 minutes working with your breath. So honestly, the only bad meditation is the one that you don't try and do.
Yes, hearing that. Do you have any kind of examples or any clients, like what are the specific benefits that you're seeing with the people that you work with? What sort of, I mean, I know some people shared some great ones on the post that I put on the other day, but are you have any examples of, or maybe your own experience about what it's really meant for you?
Well, for me, it's been the ability to, I don't really know how to articulate it, but it's that ability to stand back from life a little bit, just to give yourself time to process life, if for want of a better word, and be able to see it and just not it. I love the metaphor of not like I feel anger, not I am angry. And that metaphor, that difference, so you can stand back and go, okay, I'm feeling angry now, why am I angry, you know, and working through it rather than just being encompassed. And so I feel that with life, you know, I can say, okay, I'm doing this, and oh, I seem to be feeling that about it, but that's okay, and I'll do my practice now. Oh, okay, I'm feeling a lot more positive about the whole day, and etc., etc. And with my health, my general health is much improved as well. With people in my group, I've found there's differences to commitment levels in the people that meditate every day on the back of the group and the people that only come for the hour, and that's their little pause in the week. And you know, if that's what they need to do, then I'm completely supportive of that. There's an ability to put life down for a little while, and that's what I see most. There are people with physical issues who get relief from it for the time that they're meditating, but I think that ability to put life down for a while is just, you get to know yourself a lot better, and so you get to listen to your own intuition a lot more and follow your dreams a lot more, and know when it's, they talk about the monkey mind, but you know, when your reactions aren't necessarily real, you can be feeling really, really nervous about something, and before I might have gone, oh, I won't do that, I'll just leave that, I could never do that, and then you just sort of start going, no, there's no reason at all, you know, you get a sense of reality that's really quite beautiful.
Yeah, I love that. And I know from the times when I've done meditation, sometimes if I'm like, I've got all this going on in my brain about a decision to make, do I do one thing or do I do another? And then I'll do a meditation, and then almost, because for me it's a lot of images that come into the mind, and just that kind of flash of like aha moment of like, oh my God, that's what I'm supposed to do. And it's just incredible when you get feeling at the end of something that you just like, oh my gosh, that it just comes to you. And that it's great. Like I talk to my clients a lot about leaning in and listening to your intuition, and people struggle with that because of the busyness, but as soon as we can allow ourselves to calm and slow down, then that's really when we can start to connect. So that's a great thing to look out for.
William Bloom said an amazing thing, and he said that meditation isn't emptying your mind, it's expanding your mind to give it enough room to see everything clearly. And I just thought that was so perfect.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that's gives people almost a motivation to kind of want to do it, because I think that again, that's the thing, it's you know, how is this going to benefit me? It's when you really start to see that it can allow you to reach more of your potential. So I love that quote, that's wonderful.
Yeah, really beautiful.
Yeah, so if do you recommend a best time of day, what works for you, or what would be your recommendation when people say, oh well, when should I meditate and how long should I meditate for?
Right. No to all of it, because everybody's lives are different and everybody's different. And I found people get very, very attached to the ideal. So for me, I like to get up early in the morning and meditate. But so people will like say, for example, would hear that and go, oh, right, we have to get up early in the morning to meditate. Well, I can't get up early in the morning and meditate, and my mind's all fuzzy in the morning, so I don't do it. So that's it, I can't meditate. And we're so happy to go in this spiral of can't. So really, the best time to meditate is what suits you best. The worst time to meditate, though, I would say, is don't lie down, snuggled under your duvet on your sleep, because you won't. You'll just go to sleep. I mean, it's logical. If you want to meditate before you go to sleep, sit up comfy in an armchair and then go to bed. That's the one thing I would recommend. But apart from that, it's what works best for you. Because if you're having a busy time, there's no time to meditate in the middle of it. A tip I'd say is get a timer. If you are really busy and you're worried about how much time you're going to take out, but you've got 10 minutes, set yourself a timer so you can completely let go of the attachment to worrying about time. That's covered. I do as much as you can, as often as you can. And that might be 30 seconds 3 times a day, or it might be an hour. You know, it's whatever is best for you, really.
Yeah. That's great. And what would you say? So for some, because I know for my husband, he falls asleep. I don't know, watching TV or anything. So trying to get him to meditate is, yeah, he's asleep in a second. So would it be that you just have to sit in a position that's maybe not so comfortable to try and get that, to go that little bit longer before he's snoring his head off?
You've got to be comfortable. You've
Right.
got to be comfortable. Sitting is actually best for the flow of the energy. A lot of people like to lie down, and it might be that there's something physical that means you should lie down. You know, that's the only time you're comfortable lying down. And so I would never say to someone, sit up, you know, in that instance. It is a case of finding the right time for you. But yes, I would say sit up if you can.
Okay.
That is quite important.
Okay, so I asked my guys if they had any questions, anything that they were struggling with. So one of my girls, Michelle, she said, I've tried it, but I never be able to switch off my mind. It wanders elsewhere and I find it hard to bring myself back. So we kind of have touched on that, but is there anything else that you want to add up to that?
I think, hi Michelle, I'd say be kind to yourself. Don't judge yourself harshly when your mind does wander, and bring it back. And, you know, you just bring it back to the breath. If it would help, then use guided meditations. All styles of there's so many different styles of meditations. So keep trying until you find one that suits you. It might be that just sitting, watching your breath isn't enough. And a guided meditation or a chant might be better if your mind wanders a lot, because that can hold the focus. Here's a tip for you if you like. Count in, exhale, 1, in, out, 2. And you just keep counting, and that can hold your focus. And that actually is very good for meditating quite deeply. People in my group seem to have found that they get deeper faster using that technique. If you lose count, it doesn't matter, because you're not actually counting. You're just using it as a really easy technique to focus, hold your focus. But generally, I'd say just don't be hard on yourself. If your mind wanders and you bring it back, that's great. And just keep trying, just keep doing it, and you'll find that the time that your mind wanders for reduces each time you sat down.
Yeah,
it'll get better.
I would say I love the counting one. Again, one of my teachers had taught me that. In, hold the breath,
Yeah.
now count is starting at 2, and that was kind of like really the first time that I felt my self-regulated practice, because I'd used a lot of guided meditations. So that was the first time that I thought, oh, doing this on my own. And, you know, at the end I felt that I'd gone quite deep. So yeah, thank you for that. And you talked then about different techniques. Could you give us maybe an overview of some of your favorites and what they involve, or the names of things that maybe, because people maybe want to go and research or look a little further into, what's one of your favorites? Well,
I mean, I think a really, really good one, because it's another one you can do anywhere, is a body scan. That's often taught as a mindfulness technique. You're literally putting your focus through each part of your body, observing how it feels, releasing any tension. That can take an hour. It can take 2 minutes if you want. Another technique I do sometimes, we do a body scan each week and we vary it each week. So that's how flexible you can be with a body scan, if there's ways you like to do it or not. So you can literally go, my feet are relaxed, my ankles are relaxed, my calves are relaxed, my knees are relaxed. Work up through your body like that. And that can be very powerful, very powerful. There's the watching the breath, there's guided meditations, there's chanting. Chanting's very powerful. So you could look up chanting and the different chants, or if you're working with affirmations, you could write yourself an affirmation and chant with that. I'm trying to think of different ones to do. There's walking meditations, of course. So there's walking meditations, of course, so you can do them in the summer. That's lovely, to be really, really focused on your body as you meditate, as you walk.
Oh, nice. I love that. I do myself, I always find that almost when I'm out for a run, that kind of almost feels like a meditation, because you're just allowing yourself to kind of open up and experience really what's kind of surrounds you within nature. So I love and especially for people again who are like lacking on time, if they like either need to go for a walk today, that's something that they could do while they were on the move. So that's another great tip.
Yeah, it's actually walking meditation. If you're going for a walk, really, really, really focus on your body and every movement your body's making, and then stop and look around you, and it's incredible.
Wow.
So you're really, really within yourself. That's the walking meditation. And then when you stop, the colours are so bright. It's incredible. I really recommend that.
Oh wow, I will have to introduce that onto some of our retreats, because when we're out here on the mountains, it's incredible. So I will do some more research on that. Oh, thank you for sharing that. And then I had a question from Cassia as well. She says, do you ever get to the point that you can go for longer than 10 minutes with no struggle, as I really struggle to go beyond the 10-minute mark? And I think
you will get
she was using the Headspace app, so maybe, I don't know whether she'd got a timer on, or she was just, you know, finding that she got to 10 minutes and then you know, the chatters then coming back into the brain.
Yeah, I mean, I'd try different. If you're working with apps and recorded meditations, try a longer one. It might be that you've just got used to it. You've got used to the vibe, you've got used to the sound, and so your mind is now trained to sort of focus for that amount of time. So it goes, all right, I've done my 10 minutes, I'm off now. That's actually quite a good reminder for me to tell you. Often we all think of ourselves as the mind, but actually a really good trick for meditation, not a trick, a fact, is that your mind and you are separate. You're training your mind. So if your mind has got used to the app and got used to 10 minutes, it might be that you need to retrain it a little bit. You will go beyond 10 minutes. But again, don't push yourself. Don't think, oh, because I want to go half an hour and I can't. You know, go for 12 minutes, 15 minutes, and train your mind.
That next one step, because I think she says she's been doing it for about a month now, so consistently. So I guess that a month is still quite early on, isn't it, with your progress? So could you go on? Sorry.
I was just going to say, your mind's already sort of getting ready to resist. Your mind's tricky and cheeky. Yeah. So just don't let it take over.
Yeah. When you come to anything, if your mind's kind of starting to resist it, that's probably about the point that you're about to break through to the next level, right? That's
absolutely, because it knows where it is with 10 minutes, so it's fine. We'll just stick here. We know where we are, where everyone's happy at 10 minutes. We'll just stick with this.
Yes, awesome. Okay, so could you, because I know you teach workshops, you teach live sessions, but you also have a membership site where people can come and learn meditation from you. Do you want to tell people a little bit more about that if they want to check you out?
Thank you. What I've done with that is I just thought, actually there's nothing in between an actual physical group that people attend or an app like we've been talking about. So I wanted to sort of bring something in between that. So you actually did have a human teacher you could contact very easily, but you also had the convenience of recorded meditations to listen to when it was convenient to you. So I've basically been recording my classes. So you've got 3 meditations a week. They're seasonal, they're of the moment. So it's like when we've had horrible weather, they were relevant to that. And, you know, spring, obviously now it's spring equinox next week. So you get access to them the Monday of every week, and I'm online to message any questions. And there's a group, so we have chats sometimes, and monthly chats, and there's going to be extra bits like colouring pages and booklets and things like that as well within that package.
That sounds wonderful, because I really think there's that space for people to just get a little bit of support and just really to get started with practice and seeing that the benefit that they could bring. So is there anything that you think that I didn't ask you that maybe I should have asked you?
I don't think so. I think it really is just that thing of our lives are so busy, you know, and it's pretty stressful and frantic. And I just think meditation's even more important than it ever has been really at the moment. And it's just such an easy thing to have a toolbox. That's what I really want to teach people, a toolbox of different methods for different times in their lives. So it might be that they're having a really difficult situation, so that their brain is literally shouting. So they've got a toolbox to reach into and go, okay, right, that counting technique, that might work today. And I just think it's, there are no goals, there's no right and wrong way, there's ways that are better. And I just really want people to be able to access that within themselves.
I love that, and I really hope that, you know, people have taken something away from this session. So if people want to connect with you, where can they get hold of you?
I'm on Facebook. There's a HedgeRose Healing and Meditation group. There's the HedgeRose Healing page. There's my website. I'd be really, really happy to hear from anyone, and if they've got any questions or anything. Thank you very much for this opportunity, Emma.
Oh, well, thank you.
I've really enjoyed the chat.
Thank you for coming and sharing your wealth of knowledge, and I will post all the links to connect down below. So thank you so much for joining us, and if you do have any questions, then please get in touch. So thank you.
Yeah, that's great. And if you're posting this up and anyone's got any questions, if they want to put them underneath maybe the video, and then your lot, we can all see them.
All answer in.
That's brilliant.
Brilliant.